Hello and welcome back, everybody. We've got a very simple lesson for you today on how to add exterior finish texture to your elevation views for your pool house design. So we're going to start by going up to Hatch here on the Draw tools. We're going to hit this drop down and select Hatch. Now, this is going to bring up the Hatch tool ribbon. This is where you select your pattern. We're going to hit this bottom down arrow to expose more selection. And we're going to start with the shingles. Everyone's shingles will be the same. So that is this one here. AR-RSHKE. I like to call it a rishk. Kind of rolls off the tongue nicely. So we're going to select this, zoom in on your elevation, and then pick, and then hit enter once you've selected all the regions of your roof. Now, always end the command after you do one of your elevation views. Don't go on and keep clicking all of the other roofs to finish all in one shot, because the reason is if you go to move one of the other views later, it's going to want to pull all the shingles off all of the views. So you're better to do this separately for all four. So that's how I'm showing you to do it. I'm going to right click, repeat hatch, select my roof, hit enter. Do the same thing again, right click, left click, repeat hatch, select, hit enter. And lastly, this view, right click, left click, repeat, select, be very careful that you're not hatching in this blocked off section with a hidden line that is showing that we're retaining our wall height on one of our elevation views. This is something we talked about, so I can check to make sure you snap your roofs on top of your walls properly. Alright, so that is how you do your shingles. Now we're going to do some examples for brick, stucco, and siding, which were the other choices. Now my pool house is a stucco, but I'm going to show you the other finishes so you can see what they look like. So let's start with bricks, which is a fairly popular one. So let's go back to Hatch, select our drop down, and there's a few options for doing bricks. The one that you should use, or the one I want you to use for this project, is this one, AR-BRSTD. So brick stone, select. Now I want you to change the scale for this one because this brick appears too fine. So let's scale it up a bit. We'll go 1.5 scale, hit enter, and then hit the check mark to close. So this looks a lot better. It's a little more realistic in size. And we'll do the same thing again. Right click, repeat hatch. You notice that under properties, it remembers the 1.5 hatch pattern scale I set. So let's go through again, hit enter. And again, we're doing this one view at a time. Like that. Okay. One thing that you can do is change the color of your hatch pattern. I went ahead and I made a layer called, or maybe I didn't, I'm mistaken. So I'm going to make a layer. I'm going to call this one exterior finish. And I'm going to change the layer to any color I want. I'm going to do a red brick. I'm going to do something a little darker. Or it doesn't really matter which color you select. It's really personal preference. So I'll go with this one here. I'll hit OK. Now, you can double click the pattern and you have to change the layer here. So right now this is set to layer 0. Hit the drop down, exterior finish. Hit the close editor, and now we've successfully changed the layer to the red brick. Right, and I would just repeat that process again, double click it, change this to exterior finish, and so on. Alright, so let's delete these, and let's do another finish. So I'm going to do siding next. So back up to hatch, drop down menu. This time we're going to find line. Again, we're going to use the same scale. So if you're starting from scratch with this, go back up to properties and change this to 1.5. Actually, I'm mistaken. This one, I want you to change the scale to 32. There. Okay, that looks more proper. Okay, so let's right click. Actually, I don't want to edit it, so I'm going to go back into the hatch command again. Pick line. And we'll double click on it and edit this to be 32. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. Okay, there we go. So there's our siding. Again, changing layers is up to you. I showed you how to do that already. So I'm just going to go and delete these. And now we're going to do stucco. So back to hatch, drop down menu. There isn't an actual stucco hatch, much like there isn't a siding hatch, right? I'm using lines. But for stucco, we're going to use AR sand because that's basically the type of finish you have on stucco. It's like a bumpy texture surface. So we're going to select this and we're going to go in and pick our selections, regions like this, and just repeat this process, right? Now, 1.5 scale is the scale we should be using. That's why I mixed myself up earlier. So we're using 1.5 scale for stucco and bricks, and then we're using 32 scale for the siding. Don't forget to do these one at a time like I showed you. Like that. And if I wanted to go into my layer properties, change my exterior finish, what do I like? Something like this might look nice. So let's change that. click, double click, scales 1.5, change my layer to exterior finish, close hatch editor, and I've got something like this, right? So color is your preference, right? But this helps to kind of bring this to life, and the best thing we can do is send these to the plotter, and then you can actually have a color printout of your design. So this has been a quick lesson on how to do your hatching. So we're getting near the end of this project. You only have a couple of little things left to show, and then we're going to be all finished. That is it for now, and I will talk to you soon.